Welcome to the Humans and Life Unit, a story all about what makes organisms look different. Now, there's variation between individuals in all types, plants and animals and people. But what causes these differences? In middle school, we're going to start to deepen students' vision of cause and effect relationships. The unit starts off with a really simple cause and effect relationship, that inheritance leads to variation. This is the power of these cause and effect diagrams. This arrow here in the center, well, what goes into that? Well, we can add a box. How does inheritance cause variation? Through DNA. We learn that mutations can alter DNA, and that variation can actually alter the patterns that get inherited through natural selection, a feedback mechanism in our cause and effect diagram. And lastly, people. We can affect inheritance through artificial selection and DNA through genetic engineering. In high school, students are going to keep adding boxes. How does inheritance affect DNA? How does DNA lead to different expressions of variation? That's what science is all about, adding boxes. We can see all these pieces building up in our unit roadmap that we're going to break apart into different chapters. In the first one, we learn that genetics causes some of this variation. And we learn the power of Punnett squares. Next, we look at natural selection, artificial selection, and genetic engineering. We gain the overall picture that environmental changes and people can shift variation. Then it's time to model genetic mutations using a really wide range of modalities, words and pipe cleaners, DNA diagrams, and scratch coding in the computer. These variations might help an organism succeed or change it in a way that leads to its downfall. In the last chapter of our unit, students adopt an organism whose variations humans have influenced, anything from flowers to food to pets. They'll make a documentary educating others about genetic diversity, why it's important, and their plan for enriching it. So that's our story. Let's get started.